We continue our race to 613 mitzvot. We are here at the counting of the mitzvot. We got to mitzvah 380, so bear with us. This mitzvah happens to be the first one in Parashat Beha'alotcha. So here we go. 380, the mitzvah of observing Pesach Sheni if you were impure or far away on the first Pesach. 381, when you eat the second Pesach, you should eat it with matzah and maror. 382, when you eat the Pesach Sheni, make sure, like the Pesach Rishon, you finish all the meat by dawn. 383, do not break a bone of the Pesach Sheni. 384, if there is a war or a celebratory cause, make sure you blow the special trumpets in the Beit HaMikdash. 385, the mitzvah of separating part of the challah you make for the Kohen. 386, the famous mitzvah of tzitzit. We do it to this day. 387, do not stray after your eyes and thoughts into sinful things. 388, make sure there's a guard surrounding the Beit HaMikdash, defending and protecting, dignifying the Beit HaMikdash. 389, the Kohanim should not engage in roles of Levim, and Levim should not engage in roles of Kohanim. 380, if you are not a Kohen, do not work or serve in the Beit HaMikdash. 381, do not discontinue or cancel the protection around the Beit HaMikdash. Don't cause it to stop for a moment. 382, if someone is a firstborn male, make sure that you have that man redeemed. Remember the mitzvah with the 5 coins, the baby, firstborn baby, 5 coins go to the Kohen. That's this. 383, if there is a if there's a pure animal like a cow or a goat and it's the firstborn one, in which case it has to go to the Kohen, do not try and redeem it for money. 384, if you're a Levi, make sure you work in the Beit HaMikdash. Make sure you do your duties. 385, Maser Rishon, out of 100 fruit, after you give 2% to the Kohen, you give 10% to the Levi. 386, the Leviim should give a tenth of that, of the Maser Rishon, to the Kohen. It's called Maser Min HaMaser. 387, the mitzvah of the red heifer, Para Aduma, the famous red heifer. Here we go. 388, if someone is dead, that makes other people impure. It's called the mitzvah of Tum'at Met. 389, the mitzvah of purifying someone with water from the red heifer if that person is impure with the came in contact with a dead body. Mitzvah 400, here we go. The mitzvah of inheritance. When someone dies, what goes to the children, what goes to the grandchildren, etc. 401, the mitzvah to bring a korban every single day in the Beit HaMikdash consistently. It's called the korban tamid. 402, the korban musaf, added korban on Shabbat. 403, the korban musaf on every single Rosh Chodesh. 404, korban musaf, added korban on the holiday of Shavuot. And 405, our favorite mitzvah, the mitzvah of blowing the shofar on Rosh Hashanah. 406, the mitzvah of hafarat nedarim. If you made a vow that you regret, there's a way to undo it. 407, if you did make a vow, don't break it. 408, the Jewish people must give the Leviim some cities that they can live in, and that those cities observe someone who killed by accident, the mitzvah of Ir Miklat. We'll get to that later. 409, if someone killed someone and they're a murderer, do not execute any justice until they had a fair trial. 410, if someone killed someone by accident, the Beit Din is commanded to accompany that person to the Ir Miklat, or that man should go there by himself. But either way, if someone kills someone by accident, make sure they're relocated to the city of refuge. 411, if someone is a witness, they cannot be a judge if it's a matter of life and death. You can't be the witness and the judge, right? It doesn't work like that. 412, if someone killed someone, do not take any bribe from them to let them off the hook. 413, if someone has to go to the Ir Miklat, to the city of refuge, don't take any money from them to get them off the hook from that. 414, if someone is wise, but not wise in the study of Torah, don't make them a judge in a Beit Din. A judge in a Beit Din, you're supposed to be a Torah scholar. 415, if you are a judge, do not be afraid of someone who's bad or dangerous. You got to do justice no matter what. 416, if someone has something that you don't have, don't go crazy for it. Don't crave it and everything. 417, there is only one Hashem. Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. Which brings me to the next mitzvah. 418, V'ahavta, you should love your God Hashem. 419, the arguably most important mitzvah, the mitzvah of Talmud Torah, of studying Torah. 420, the mitzvah of reading Shema morning and night, B'shochbecha uvkumecha. 421, the mitzvah of putting tefillin on your hand, Ukshartam le'ot al yadecha, we all know that. And then 421, the mitzvah of putting tefillin on your head. 423, the mitzvah of mezuzah. And 400, mezuzah, no need to add anything. 424, if someone is a rightful prophet of God, don't keep testing them. 425, when you come to battle in the land of Israel, make sure you do not make an agreement with the 7 nations that are there saying you guys stay and it's okay, you got to drive them out. 426, if someone is an idol worshiper, don't try and beautify them. Don't be like, oh my gosh, that's so amazing and inspiring. If they're worshiping idols, that's not your cup of tea. 427, someone worships idols, do not marry them. 428, if someone makes a avodah zarah, idol worship, and codes it with something, you can't even benefit from the coding. 429, anything that's from avodah zarah should not be part of your property, your assets. 430, v'achalta v'savata u'berachta, if you eat a good meal with bread, you should make birkat hamazon. 431, if someone converts to Judaism, make sure you love them and treat them nicely. Love the stranger. 432, the mitzvah of having awe, reverence, and fear of God. 433, the mitzvah of tefillah, prayer. 434, the mitzvah of attaching yourself to a Talmid Chacham. If you see someone who's a scholar, hang out with them and you're going to get some of that scholarship yourself. 435, if something needs an oath in court, you have to take an oath in the name of God. 436, the mitzvah to destroy idols that are used, for idol worship. 437, do not erase the name of God, pretty basic, and anything that belongs to God, like the temple, don't destroy holy things. 438, if you have any kind of sacrifice, make sure you bring it in the first festival that arrives. So Pesach, Shavuot, Sukkot, whenever you make the oath, first time you have a chance, give that sacrifice, make that live up to your commitment. 439, do not bring a korban outside of the Beit HaMikdash. 440, a positive commandment, all korbanot must be brought inside of the Beit HaMikdash, nowhere else. 441, if there is a korban, something you designated to be brought as a sacrifice, make sure you and it got a blemish, it lost an eye or a leg or whatever it is, make sure you redeem it for money and then you can eat it, then that's okay. 442, do not eat a maaser sheni, which means what you separate as maaser sheni, which is supposed to be eaten in Jerusalem. If it's from wheat or grain, don't eat it anywhere other than Jerusalem. Basically, don't eat your maaser sheni outside Jerusalem. 443, do not eat maaser sheni, which is grapes of grapes outside of Jerusalem. And then 444 is don't eat something that is of oil, which is maaser sheni outside of Jerusalem. 445, do not eat a bechor, a firstborn kosher animal that is supposed to go to the Beit HaMikdash, anywhere outside Jerusalem. 446, if there is the meat of a sin offering or a asham offering, it must be eaten inside the temple. Even if you're a Kohen, you can't just snack it outside. 447, if there is a burnt offering, which is supposed to be all burnt, as its name indicates, in the Beit HaMikdash, don't eat any of it. 448, do not eat the meat of Kodashim Kalim, meat that are supposed to be eaten by the owners. Don't eat it unless the blood of the offering was sprinkled on the Mizbeach. 449, the Kohanim should not eat the fruits of the Bikurim, the first fruit, before those were placed in the sanctuary of the temple. And 450, last but not least, make sure you give the Leviim, the Levites, the gifts that they deserve. That is 450. God willing, we will continue from 450 in our next video. Thank you for watching.